Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna talk about my life in Korea. I'm currently in California at Ivan's place to film this video, and I wanted to wait when I was in Korea to film this, but you know what, why not? I got a lot of questions and I wanted to answer them. How did you make friends in Korea when you first moved there? So when I first moved, I was under a program, so it was called Talk, Teach, and Learn in Korea, and I met a lot of people that way, and I met this guy named Liam, met Eddie through him, met Ivan through Eddie, and then met Sunny through Ivan. So we had a lot of mutual friends, and I think that's the best way to make friendships. But then also I met a lot of people at events, and yeah. What's the thing that made you move to Korea? I grew up visiting Korea almost every year during the summer, but when I was in high school, I was taking summer classes, and I went after I graduated, and in college I studied abroad, and I always wanted to live in Korea because a week or two was never enough. So after I graduated, I decided to move for 1 year, but here I am living my third year. What's your top 3 places to go in Korea? So in Seoul, I really like Samcheong-dong, I like Garosu-gil, as well as Myeongdong because it's always busy. I know a lot of people hate going there because there's so many people all the time, but I don't know, something about Myeongdong, the vibe, I really enjoy it. Would you say it's possible to survive in Korea without speaking Korean? Depends where, but I will say that in Seoul, it's very English friendly, so it will be easy to get by. But it would be helpful if you knew the basic Korean, like how to say hello, or how to say where is this, or how much is this. It will be very helpful if you have that. What are 3 things in Korea you like and 3 things you don't like? So I'll start with things I like. I love how everything is so convenient. The public transportation is super easy, and it's a lot cheaper than where I'm from. So San Francisco and LA, it's very pricey. In Seoul, it's very affordable depending on where you go to shop and eat. But I did a clothing challenge with Q Square Han where we found outfits for less than $30. It's possible in Korea. 3 things I don't like about Korea. Winters in Korea is brutal. I am used to the California sunshine. I love warmer weather. I like dressing for fall because it's not too hot and too cold. But yeah, winter in Korea was just really difficult for me to adjust to, and it's still hard. And I guess the second thing would be summers in Korea is also difficult for me because it's sticky and hot. I mean, I don't mind humidity, but sometimes it's like there needs to be a balance. Do you have a Korean PR or citizenship, or are you on a working visa? How did you get your PR, citizenship, working visa? I am under the F4 visa. If you are curious about visas in Korea, I'll try to find the best link possible so that it'll be easy for you guys to learn about visas in Korea. When you're not on public transportation, I noticed that you're always walking. Was that something that was hard to get used to? No, because in LA, I used to drive everywhere. However, in San Francisco, you do take public transportation quite often if you're not driving. So I was kind of used to it, and in Korea, everything is so close together. It's not hard to walk around. I made Ivan walk, I think 5 stations. Yeah, it was a great day.
No, we had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
You went by really fast.
It did. How did you keep up your long distance communication with your friends in the States? Was it really hard to keep in touch at times? And it wasn't hard for me. So a lot of my friends were all working, and we're all traveling. We're all under different time zones. We don't have to constantly text each other and talk to each other in order for us to know we're good. We know we're good. So even after a year of not talking, we just pick up from where we started and catch up, and it's great. So I'm very lucky to have the friends that I have. Like even for Ivan, like he's here in California and I'm in Korea, we would randomly text each other once in a while, but like
we don't have to like talk every day.
Yeah.
We're like good, like friends.
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm very lucky in the sense where all my friends are understanding of that. And also because they're working, even though they're all working in LA, they don't even have time to hang out with each other because they're so tired all the time. So I feel like recently when I went to the bachelorette party for my friend Christine, everyone was seeing each other for like the first or second time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't feel left out for that reason because we were all working and, you know, pursuing something that we all love. So yeah, long distance, it's hard at times because I want to talk to them or hang out with them, but we're good. What were some of the biggest culture shocks you experienced? Because I visited Korea quite often, I didn't have any like big culture shocks. However, I think it took some time for me to get used to like touching up your makeup at a cafe, or even seeing people pull out their big makeup pouches to do their makeup in public. But now I do that too. So I think that was one. But when I came to America, I did have some reverse culture shocks. I wasn't used to certain things. Like, oh, I remember, I get carded in America and I'm not used to that. Like, I was like, oh yeah, you think I'm young? And they're like, no, you look under like 30 and we just have to check. I totally forgot about that because in Korea, they don't card too much because they know I look old for my, you know, I look older than 19. So that was like a reverse culture shock. Another one was like tipping. In Korea, you don't tip at all, but here, when I was signing my card, I noticed that there was an extra line for tip, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So there were some moments. Can you recommend best places to eat whenever you are alone? I feel like a lot of restaurants in Korea are friendly for singles, so I didn't have a problem, and I'm not the type that get shy over eating by myself. I eat by myself like all the time. Like I could walk into McDonald's, eat by myself, and then walk out. But if you walk to places like shabu shabu or like Korean barbecue, you can't go by yourself because I forget the rules, but you can't really go to those places on your own. But there are a lot of restaurants. I can't really think on the top of my head.
Here?
No, in Korea. Most like tteokbokki places, you know, kimbap places are very friendly because you could just eat at the small tables and bounce right after. But yeah, most restaurants like ramen places, udon places, yeah, a lot of them are very single friendly, which I'm thankful for. How are foreigners treated in Korea? From my experience, I feel like everyone is very welcoming. Then I saw some videos on YouTube where people complained about it. I think it just like depends on who you meet actually. And also, if you speak some Korean, they will be nicer to you because they will appreciate that you are, you know, being mindful of the Korean culture and language. So know a little bit of Korean and I feel like any foreigner will be fine. Ivan is American, but he lived in Malaysia for a long time. That was a frequently asked question.
Yeah, I lived in Malaysia for about like 17 years.
Right.
But I think important thing when you're visiting any country at all is like you sort of need to know their norms and their etiquette before going there. So, you know, you can't really expect people to
be nice
if you're sort of rude in their culture to them.
Right.
Even if you don't think that it's rude, you should be knowledgeable enough to know that you should respect a country's rules and laws and whatnot.
Yeah. Last question is it really true that you got one of your radio jobs from answering a Craigslist ad? So my friend was actually working at TBS EFM and she had to leave, but then it wouldn't be fair for her to be like, oh, she's my friend, so just like give her the job. So she actually sent me the link of the Craigslist posting, and a lot of broadcasting stations actually use Craigslist to post their job openings. So yeah, it is a good tip, but also be careful because not all Craigslist ads are safe. But yeah, TBS EFM does use Craigslist to hire, and she sent me the link and I applied that way, and then I went through the audition process like twice, and I got the job. So I got a lot of questions about my radio job. I think I have a dedicated video on that, so you can click up here. It might have been about YouTube. I have 2 videos, I think, about my life in Korea and like how I am living in Korea as a YouTuber. So I'll link those down below. I hope you guys found this video helpful and expect for more videos from me. I'll be going back to Korea, so don't worry, I have some ideas, and I'll be filming a lot of videos with Ivan so that we can schedule them. If you have any more questions, I'll try to answer them directly in the comment section below. So let's make the comment section a helpful place for the internet, and I'll see you guys in my next one. 안녕!
I can give it a whirl.